Hello, and thank you for watching The Righteous Kitchen, a cooking and baking blog found at www.therighteouskitchen.blogspot.com. Today we're working with sweet potatoes, and I want to show you 2 ways to bake them. Let's concentrate first on a traditional baked potato that's similar to, say, a russet potato. When you want one for that purpose, you're going to want a nice shaped small sweet potato. This is a perfect looking sweet potato for baking. I've washed it, dried it, and now I'm just going to cut a few slits in it so that when the steam comes, it doesn't explode in the oven. So that's all I have to do to that. I just put it on a baking tray. Now, another option is if you're going to use your baked potatoes, say for mashed sweet potatoes, sweet potato pie, sweet potato custard, same thing. You're going to want to wash them, poke a couple of slits so that the steam can evaporate, and then hit it just with a little bit of cooking oil. What that's going to do is soften the skin and make it very easy to peel. When you bake it in the foil, you're going to get that steaming action, so it's going to be super smooth. So that's for custards, pies, mashed sweet potato souffle. You're going to want to do this. That's all there is to it. The oven's preheated to 400 degrees. Now these larger sweet potatoes are going to take longer than the smaller one, but I'll come back and we'll show you when it's done. Okay, these potatoes have been baking for 40 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and test this baked potato. It's still a little bit firm inside, so it needs to go back in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit more holes there. These here are cooking nicely. You can see the steam coming in. They have a ways to go. These are going to take a lot longer because they're bigger. So I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back in the oven, and I'll check this in about 20 minutes. All right, these have been baking for exactly 1 hour. And looky there, it's just perfect. 1 hour for this small baked potato. And then these bigger ones, they're gonna take an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. I'm gonna poke some more holes in them and put them back in the oven. But this, I'll go ahead and let it cool a little bit. All right, so 1 hour for the small baker. Okay, I pulled these potatoes at 1.5 hours, and you can see they're fork tender. They're very soft, and they're super easy to peel. You don't have to peel them or cube them. You can do the peeling after they've baked. It just slides right off of here. Now how I puree these is I run them through the food mill. If you don't have a food mill, you can press them through a fine mesh strainer, or you can use a food processor. But I blend these up into a really soft puree, and my favorite way to use that is to make sweet potato custard. All right, so I've showed you 2 ways. Oil and foil if you want to use it in a puree, or straight to the oven if you want to use it for a baked potato. And we might as well cut this open. I like to cut it open, and then I give it a little bit of a squeeze, and then you could just mash it with your fork. And I'm going to be stuffing this with carnitas, some pico de gallo, and an orange vinaigrette. I'll post some photos of that. But this is nice and soft too. It baked up really nice. And it's going to be perfect, healthy dinner with my carnitas. So there you have it. A puree. And now see how the texture is even more soft when you put the oil in the foil. It's super soft. Great for a puree. If you're going to make the puree, it's best to go ahead and puree it while the sweet potatoes are warm. I'm just using a fine mesh strainer today. And here's the puree, nice and smooth. All right, thank you for watching this. Please like, subscribe, and share.